Yo. Yeah, I don't know whether to do a basketball DFS podcast or just give you guys 16 bars and head out, man. I don't know, man. This beat's kind of fire, dude. What's up, guys? Eventful day on Twitter if you guys are baseball fans, but happy Thursday nonetheless. It's January 16th, 2020. More and more fallout from this Astros scandal. Carlos Beltran stepping down. I feel bad for Betances. You just do. Hopefully you guys are coming off a strong Wednesday night, DFS Wednesday night. Big slate last night. I played a majority on FanDuel, Anoche. And on FanDuel, I had 40% DeMontis Sabonis, and he was 8% owned. So I had a pretty good night. Let's look at some of the scores from last night. Luka Doncic, of course, leads the slate in scoring. Kristaps Porzingis was expected to play, and then later on the night, he was ruled out. So if you guys took a shot on him on FanDuel, it's unfortunate. However, I do believe he was supposed to be on a minutes restriction, so I don't think that was that smart of a reach anyway. Markelle Fultz, man, triple-double for him. Fournier ended up being ruled out. Big game out of Fultz. The Magic actually win by a point. There was two plays in that game where LeBron James was blocked by the rim. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope blocked by the rim. So it was potentially the defensive player of the game right there. That rim did some work. But no, big win there for the Magic yesterday. I lost $20. If you guys were on this in the chat yesterday, me and Raj made a wager. The spread was -9. Raj thought the Magic would compete and fight, and I thought that the game could be lopsided. And I was wrong because the Magic showed out, even without Evan Fournier. But I've been playing Markelle Fultz for a while. But last night looked like a whole different kid. Like, he looked like a number one pick. He looked really, really good. It was impressive. So if you're a Magic fan, you should be happy. You should be excited. If you're a 76ers fan, you might start to wonder if you made the right move. But nonetheless, man, Magic, they're not at 500 yet, but they win tonight. I think they could be. I think they're a dark horse of the Eastern Conference. I think they're better than a lot of people give them credit for. They've been dealing with injuries. I don't think they got a shot to go too far. Like, I think the Pacers are better, Sixers are better, obviously, but I think they're way better than people give them credit for. And then they caught the Lakers with their pants down yesterday. How'd you guys make out last night? Russell Westbrook was your number 2 scorer on the slate. Rockets lose to the Blazers. Yeah, I'm digging this song, man. I'm just gonna loop it the whole show. How about that? No, let's turn it off. I'm sure you guys are tired of it. LeBron James was pretty trendy without Anthony Davis. He was alright. Zach LaVine got us another 50. DeMar DeRozan, almost a 50 bomb against the Miami Heat. Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero was kind of a surprise scratch here. Not that was a significant boost in minutes. He got 31 minutes, but he just decided that today was going to be a day that Kendrick Nunn goes off. He goes off a couple times a month, and this was one of them against the San Antonio Spurs. If you were able to play him, that's huge. I'm a little bit salty because I felt like I was in the right area. I had a whole lot of Goran Dragic on FanDuel, and so much of that Dragic, I believe, Could have easily just been Kendrick Nunn, but hey, I wasn't even on Nunn like that. So it is what it is. Chris Paul, another 40 bomb. That Toronto and OKC game was pretty crazy. 251 points in regulation. So I did not peg that game to do that. We did talk about how Chris Paul and SGA both had like dueling 50 bombs in the previous matchup against the Raptors. However, that happened in about, 60 less points, 50 less points. So for them to basically become a game stack, Chris Paul, SGA, Schroeder all had over 40 fantasy points. Gallo with a 30 bomb. Muscala, I would have never played Muscala, but on the Raptor side, OG Anunoby dropped 40 fantasy points. The Raptors came out with a different starting five, a very big starting five. They had Anunoby at the 2, Siakam at the 3, and Ibaka and Marc Gasol to close out the front court. So it was a way different look than we were used to from the Raptors side. And I don't know if that's correlated to the score here, but it's something to keep an eye on. Bradley Beal ended up playing last night, played just 27 minutes. So yet again, Beal does not play over 30 minutes in his last couple games. A lot of people think that something's really wrong, and they should maybe put him on ice. Like we said at the top of the show, Porzingis was ruled out kind of late in the night after being expected to play all day, and of course Luka Doncic, 25, 15, 17, a big slump game out of Luka Doncic. Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray started this game. Gary Harris was out. Jamal Murray rolled his ankle early into this game. And he did not play the second half. Instead, Monte Morris started the second half. However, it was PJ Dozier, that was just kind of the surprise here. 13 minutes out of him was almost 2x fantasy point per minute. Of course, this game was a little bit lopsided. So tonight, we are going to run it back, and hopefully Monte Morris has a chance to deliver. And then, of course, Michael Porter Jr., 28 minutes last night. He had 17 real points in his first 8 minutes of action. I've seen this story twice already. MPJ is probably going to be chalked tonight and end up playing 12 minutes or something stupid. So annoying. But huge play out of him yesterday. It made a lot of sense in retrospect, regardless. But obviously, he has burned us a lot lately. Anything else crazy happened last night? Did you guys watch any of the post-game comments from Kyrie Irving? I think I tweeted it. I'll go pull it up. I'm not a Nets fan, but if you guys are Nets fans in the chat, I am surely curious to see what you are thinking. In his post-game interview after losing to the Sixers, Kyrie was quoted saying, "Collectively, I feel like we have great pieces, but it's pretty glaring. We need one more piece or two more pieces that will complement myself, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Jordan, Garrett Temple, Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, and we'll see how that evolves." Well, he didn't mention Jared Allen. So it's basically him throwing Jared Allen under the bus. And I get it, you're a leader, whatever, you want to put pressure on your management or whatever to go get a piece. And maybe that's a hint that he wants Andre Drummond. But first of all, don't put that out in the media. Secondly, you've missed almost the whole season while the Nets fight and claw. Dinwiddie, and without LeVert too, are fighting and clawing to stay over 500. And you come back, and just like that, you just want to say, "Oh, we need more people." Shut all the way up, Kyrie. This has not been a season for me to grow any type of attachment to Kyrie. I've been hating it. I don't want to say hate. I have not been a fan of a lot of this dude's antics this whole season. And that little quote right there was kind of disgusting. So if we got Nets fans in the chat, man, let me know what you guys think, because I didn't think it was all that. Man, I really didn't think it was all that. Let's look at the live chat before we move on. Van Jones says, "Listen live Monday and Tuesday. Cash didn't listen yesterday and lost. I'm here live today, man." Well, welcome. False play out of mind. Absolutely. Stop trusting Celtics. It saves your night. The Celtics were fine. Celtics yesterday? Celtics were in my top lineups, actually. Pull them up. Detroit. Jaylen Brown, 40. Gordon Hayward, 38. I guess Kemba would have let you down, right? Marcus Smart, I usually don't like to play him when he starts, but yeah, I definitely think you probably wanted some Celtics last night. I didn't have Daniel Tice, so I won't pretend like I did. He almost had a triple-double. Get out of here. What up, Alex? Kyrie has a drug problem. Yikes. Got some stuff to say. Oh, God. I don't know if I want to bring him in here, chat. What up, Lippy? How bad is this Denver chalk today? I don't know. I haven't dived into Slate, but I would assume off the bat that Monte Morris is going to be extremely, extremely high owned. And then I'm curious to see if people double down on a guy like Michael Porter Jr. or somebody like that, putting some context to last night's game. Being a little bit of a blowout, I don't know. Detroit Wheels in the chat. What up, Kihawa? I'd what in his mouth? Relax. Relax. All right, let me open up the stream here. I'm scared. I'm going to do it, though. Yurt.
Oh, yo.
What a do, Paul Wall?
Big day of sports. There's a lot of extracurricular stuff. One, Odell Beckham Jr. getting screwed by the New Orleans police authority. I mean, they have nothing better to do.
Wait.
Slapped his butt. Like, come on.
What do you mean? Hold on. I don't think anyone here loves Odell Beckham more than I do. But what do you mean?
Did you get charged for that? Get out of here. That was a joke.
All right. So first of all, I'll play the video on the stream, chat. If you guys haven't heard, Odell Beckham has a warrant for his arrest in New Orleans.
Joke. Like, it's a complete joke.
It's not. It's literally not. That's assault.
Yeah, 100%.
It's sexual assault at that. Secondly, Odell Beckham, he had quite the weekend, man. He's passing money around to the players. That already you can't do. I'm sure there's boosters on the police force. Here's the video, chat. I just want to say that it looks like this cop or the security guard is not in this locker room to celebrate. It seems like he's shaking this dude down. Like he has something and this cop is trying to search
That's another thing. These guys just won a national championship, and you're going to go in there over what? Maybe he has a little weed or whatever it is.
But let me if this is and this is not out there, this is just me, a history in law enforcement. It kind of looks like this cop's about to get this kid busted, and Odell saves the kid by slapping the cop on the butt. Here's the
good for Odell.
Even says he's going to jail.
Stand with Odell.
This cop's barking at him. Odell just flicks something. This cop is searching the kid, and here comes Odell. Wham! That does enough to distract him. So you can hate Odell all you want, and there's no excuse for that. He's gonna have to pay for that. But he's 100% saving that kid from something.
Something. But the fact that the cops really took time out of their day, they could have just walked it off. Like, it's not that serious. Little pat in the butt after they went. Like, it's not that serious. It's such a joke.
I don't know.
They're telling me there's so many other things you could have spent your time on, so many other crimes, and for this? And especially, think about this. You know how the perception of cops is, it's just from a PR standpoint. Like, really? Against Odell, you know it's going to make national news. Like, it's just such a bad move. Well, it just makes no sense at all.
Whatever it was, they thought about it for a couple days. So
I just don't see any positives coming out of it. Like, on the police side, like, there's just nothing. Like, really? Assault? Come on.
What do you mean? Hold on. Assault? Wait. You think I should be able to walk down the street right now and smack a cop on his butt?
No, I'm saying a team just won a national championship. You're in the locker room.
What? I don't care.
You gotta keep things in perspective here. You know, the situation.
Perspective. He just smacked the cop on his butt while the cop was shaking down somebody.
You gotta look at the situation, though. It's not like it's not
a situation.
In that environment, that's completely okay.
All right, again, no, that's not okay. What are you talking about? That's not okay. All right, you're out of your mind already.
Between Canadians and American cops, baby. Our Canadian cops focus on real problems.
So
not nonsense like this.
So when the Raptors won the championship, I could have ran up and down the street slapping Mounties on their butt while they were trying to conduct an investigation.
I could have thought 100%. We're on the streets running around with Raptors.
While they're trying to conduct an investigation, I can interrupt, slap them on the butt because I'm happy.
They wouldn't be trying to conduct an investigation.
Yeah, you're out of your mind. Like I was a sergeant of corrections. Like I have history in law enforcement. That's not okay. I'm an Odell fan. I'm the biggest Odell fan here. That cop was looking for something. and Odell distracted
Yeah,
him.
shout out to Odell.
So yeah, bro code. Odell did his thing. You might have said that kid a draft or whatever. I don't know the kid, but for you to defend that, stupid. Like that he literally.
It's just not even. It just should have been. They should have used common sense discretionary and just be like, all right, Odell just slapped him in the butt. Just walk it off. That's it. You need to file a report, charge the guy with battery or whatever. It's such a joke.
Jerome8319. Appreciate that follow, bro.
The chat's with me on this one. The chat's definitely with me on this one. Let's go, chat. Show some love to Odell.
They told Joe Burrow to stop smoking his cigar and threatened to arrest him. Yeah, I mean, so the cops were obviously party poopers, but like you can't. What do you mean? Imagine being on the cop's side here. Wait a minute. What? Chat, you guys are not really like Odell. If Odell posted a video today of him dancing in his backyard, you guys would be all over Odell saying he's a distraction and that he's fruity and all that. He just assaulted a cop. Like, you can't do that. I literally left my team to follow Odell.
He got left off. Those cops used discretionary. I was like, okay.
What? Antonio Brown sexually assaulted cops?
Did he throw the bag of candy at him or something? I think what he did was a lot worse than what Odell did.
No, he did. No, stop.
This is more, the atmosphere. You got to look at the atmosphere that they were all in. You have to look at time, situation. Yes, time and place. Time and place accounts for something.
This is the dumbest conversation, and I don't want to. I'm not hijacking this NBA DFS podcast anymore. But just know you're way wrong. Like, you can't break the law because of this situation.
You want the wrong side of this one. Wrong boat.
It's the law. What the freak? Yeah, I ran the red light because my favorite player just hit a home run.
Okay, no,
it's the environment. It's the environment.
No, stop. It's like jaywalking. You know what I mean? Like, it's there when it's not a lot of traffic here. Against the law, I'm going to get out of the car and stop the guy.
You're literally ignoring what happened. The man was conducting an investigation. He not only interrupted
I don't think it was a time and place to conduct an investigation on a student after winning a national championship over some nonsense.
You're absolutely retarded then. Because anyway, this is stupid. Detroit Wills, you can't touch a police officer in any way, shape, or form. It's as simple as that, but especially while they're trying to conduct an investigation. I mean, that it gets worse than that. That's more than assault. Like, he could be charged with interrupting an investigation. Like, as simple as that. Like, that's ridiculous. Odell and AB having too much fun with the cops this week. Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, let's talk about some NBA DFS because this is a huge news day. And it's easy to get off track. On the NBA side of things, key news to watch via Fantasy Labs at 3 p.m. Eastern. Jaylen Brown, questionable. Jason Tatum to be determined. Evan Fournier, DJ Augustine, questionable. Brandon Ingram, Jahlil Okafor, probable. JJ Redick, questionable. Marcus Morris, questionable. Frank Ntilikina, Reggie Bullock, questionable. And Wesley Matthews is probable. So those are nothing, Slate breaking there. We do already know that Millsap is out, Gary Harris is out, and Jamal Murray's going to be down with that injury. So we expect Monte Morris to start. Also, Jeff Teague and Treveon Graham were traded for Allen Crabbe. So Teague.
That seems like a steal, an absolute steal for the Hawks.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Teague wanted out. Yeah, I agree. Teague, the Hawks seem like they got the better end of the deal. But it seems more like they just wanted Teague back in the area. So
when Chad, a quick mention, who won the bet last night with the Lakers and the Orlando Magic? People are thinking it's going to be a blowout, but the Magic showed up. It was a game in the fourth quarter. I'm ready to take everyone's money again. Just saying.
They won by 1 point, and 2 of those points, I don't know. Anyway, let's go talk about some basketball. As the chat is going wild. Good thing there's a video that wasn't no detective gun. No, it's not. Again, it doesn't matter what it is. If the cop's trying to conduct an investigation, like if the cop and just from the outside looking at it, it looks like he thinks the guy has something he's not supposed to have, and it's the cop's right to investigate. I mean, it's not his right; it's his job. So I get it, but just because you're celebrating doesn't mean you can take illegal drugs, especially on a
and discretionary.
no, it's not discretionary when it's on a freaking college campus, right? Like it's not discretionary. That is the dumbest thing. The law is not discretion. That's stupid.
There is law and there's also common sense.
No, there's
and
not.
Again,
Stop. You're retarded. That's retarded. Game number 1 tonight. Phoenix Suns at the New York Knicks. Projected starting 5 for the Suns. Ricky Rubio, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Dario Saric, Aaron Baines taking on Elfrid Payton. RJ Barrett, Marcus Morris, Julius Randle, Taj Gibson, a 226 total 3-point spread in favor of the visiting Phoenix Suns. Frank Kaminsky and Kelly Oubre listed as out for the Phoenix Suns. Mikal Bridges, 4,500. What are you doing? My God! Is it discretionary to be butt naked, sweaty on a beanbag chair while we're conducting a freaking podcast? Jesus, bro. All that noise. Anyway.
Noise? What noise?
You're going nuts with noise in my ear. Mikal Bridges, 4,500 on both sides tonight. I got 34 minutes of soft projection for him. He'll probably be a pretty high-owned, sought-after value play tonight in the absence of Kelly Oubre. We'll pull up the DraftKings game log. I played him on FanDuel a little bit last night. Bridges. Put up 34 fantasy points, 33 minutes. Now, the Atlanta Hawks is going to be as cupcake and as pure a matchup as you can get. But against the Knicks at 4,500, there's definitely a chance that he could flirt with 30 fantasy points and maybe 25, something you could settle on. Rubio, expect to be back. This is your baby game for Ricky Rubio. Had a baby boy, and now he's in Madison Square Garden. So 6,300 on FanDuel. You want to get a little piece of that and have some fun with it, sure. Devin Booker's 9K on DraftKings, 8,800 on FanDuel. He's been going nuts lately in terms of real points and fantasy points. 55 points against Atlanta, 31 against Charlotte, not great. And then 41 against Orlando, tough defense. And then prior to that, a sea of 30-plus real point games to get him to 50 fantasy point games. Kind of reminds me a lot of Zach LaVine right now, getting on a groove, and the sites have to price him up. So putting him at 9K becomes more of a comfort call, but I definitely think he's a viable play on a slate like this. On the Knicks side, if Marcus Morris is able to go, he's pretty cheap on both sides. Julius Randle, 8K on DraftKings, 7,900 on FanDuel. Definitely think this is a spot that I can get back on the Randle train. Elfrid Payton revenge game, yay, 5,500 on DraftKings, 5,700 on FanDuel. I'm looking for the north side of 30 fantasy points. I'll go pull up the New York Knicks official injury news and notes via Roto-World. We'll start from the top down. Frank Ntilikina, groin questionable. Dennis Smith Jr. Apparently the Timberwolves want to get Dennis Smith Jr., so that's what I got there. Marcus Morris listed as questionable with a neck injury. He's missed some time. Reggie Bullock with a sore neck has been downgraded to questionable midday. He's been starting in lieu of Marcus Morris lately. And then Mitchell Robinson listed as probable with a sprained left great toe. So the wing situation here for the Knicks could be a little different. If Bullock and Marcus Morris can't go, you might see like Kevin Knox float up here. Medium total here. Words English 226. With the Suns being a slight favorite, I don't think there's a name here you could throw at me, and I would say that doesn't make any sense. I think just about every name makes sense, namely like Ricky Rubio, Bridges, Booker, and then DeAndre Ayton. He's still coming off the bench, but that may not be a bad thing. And he's been flirting with 40 fantasy points now. Is 40 killing it at his price point? No, but he's somebody to consider. I think Julius Randle is my favorite points per dollar play here, with the floor upside in consideration. And then I really kind of like Rubio on FanDuel at 6,300. Those are a couple of names that are sticking out at me. What are you doing with this game while you're breaking the law and expecting it to be okay?
Yeah, discretionary, common sense. Shout out Canadian cops. Don't waste time with things like this. But I mean, yeah, this game you got Rubio here, baby game. Obviously after the birth of his son, it'll be a big game here. Devin Booker, again, I just think shooting guard's kind of loaded with some other guys I preferred today. He wouldn't be kind of a tier 1 play for me, but definitely an option here with no Kelly Oubre. If you want to just start a lineup with Ricky Rubio, and Devin Booker, that's perfectly fine. I really don't like Bridges here because if he's going to start, he's going to play with guys who have a lot more usage. It just seems like such a bust candidate, especially at his ownership. I might just full fade Bridges today.
Wait. If Kelly Oubre was 4,500 today, what are you doing with him?
I'm playing him.
So, but you're
But
not going to play.
Bridges is not Oubre though. Bridges is not Oubre. I just think he
sure
can take a step
that?
back. Yeah, no, I think he could take a step back here with Booker getting the usage, Rubio getting the usage.
I think Rubio's a plus for Bridges.
Baines.
I completely disagree there.
Rubio's a plus for Bridges. Again, at his ownership, 5-game slate. Again, I think I may full fade him.
I don't see it.
Hopefully he ends up with 20 fantasy points.
I don't really get the reason.
I mean, I think his usage goes really all the way down. When he comes off the bench, he gets a second unit run.
When he comes off the bench, he gets 15 points. Like he does a little bit of everything. He's gonna have a shot at 35 minutes here.
I mean, I hear you. I mean, he can
you
definitely
don't.
go for 30, 35.
The rebounds, assists, blocks, steals. Like this is not a scoring dependent value play.
Hear you. I just don't think he's gonna get a lot of usage when he's sharing the court with Devin Booker, Rubio, and the other starters.
So you would play Oubre at 45, but not Mikal Bridges.
Because Oubre is twice the player of Bridges.
Why do you think that?
I think Oubre, his usage is going to be a little higher. Like, he's still willing to do his thing even with Booker and Rubio on the court, while I think Bridges is going to take a step back and let them do their thing.
So Bridges, all those steals and rebounds and assists that Bridges gets, he's not going to go for him because he's starting.
I mean, that's fine, but at the points, I could see him getting like 8 points.
No, you're wrong.
Couple of assists, couple rebounds.
Don't fade Bridges. That's ridiculous. Move on. Go.
Don't fade it. I mean, just throw it out there. Just throw it out there. On the Phoenix side, I guess DeAndre Ayton is 7-7. I think everyone's been kind of waiting for his big game. He's been giving you mid-30s, high 30s. Could he get you a 40 here, 45 in a good game? I can see that. So at 7-7, don't hate it. On the New York side, I mean, I think Julius Randle is going to be a great play if Marcus Morris sits. If he plays, not as comfortable at the 8K price range. But if Marcus Morris sits, which I do kind of expect, give me all the Julius Randle. Other than that, I don't think I'm really going to touch anybody else.
Looking at the live chat, what up, Crispy? What is up, Gun and Canadian? He won the bet. Unfortunately, he won the bet. What up, Mr. Hustle? Your partner's opening 9 bags at yeah, all that noise he was making literally driving me nuts while I'm trying to do a drop.
I just moved the laptop.
Yeah, it made a lot of noise. I love playing Randall and Ayton on FanDuel. Yeah, I like that a lot too. Randall being power forward eligible. Ayton, I still think Ayton, like, his price doesn't like make me lock him or anything like that. I think Ayton could just be an average play. But I love Randall.
I just feel like a blow-up game's coming. Like, he's literally just getting you 35, 37, 38. I just feel like that 45, 50 is coming.
What up, Game Theory? T.Y. says Lonzo or Rubio on FanDuel. It's going to be Lonzo. Minutes equal money, especially at 4,500. Well, let me asterisk on the Lonzo. It'll be Lonzo, assuming Drew Holiday's still out. So, yeah, it's probably going to be Lonzo, 6,500. It's too much. But I do like Rubio. It could be both. Don't complete
fans. We'll get to it.
Minutes equal money.
I was going to say Kemba and Lonzo seem like locks.
Kemba seemed like a lock last night. Lonzo or Rubio, oh yeah, minutes equal money, especially. Yeah, I'm not fading Bridges here. Not at the minutes he might get. HD Jones, this tandem does not work. Annoying. Well, there's plenty of other DFS shows out there. Appreciate you stopping by. Ayton at his price on FanDuel. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next game. Utah Jazz at the New Orleans Pelicans. Your project starting 5 for the Utah Jazz: Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, Royce O'Neal, Bojan Bogdanovic, Rudy Gobert. Taking on Lonzo Ball, Etuan Moore, JJ Redick, Brandon Ingram, Derek Favors. We got 225.5 total. And a 5-point spread in favor of the visiting Utah Jazz. So, you look on FanDuel.com tonight, and you see the Utah Jazz's prices, and I don't know what they were doing. Like, 6,600 for Donovan Mitchell. Excuse me? What? Joe Ingles on both sides probably has worked his way up to being 6,500 plus. This man's been Mr. 30 fantasy points. He's at, like, what happened over there this morning?
I literally deposited on FanDuel after I saw these prices. You guys mentioned them last night. I was like, okay, made a small because I never play FanDuel, but today will be a first in a while.
Yeah, the whole Pelicans team is way too cheap. And I feel like that could be a good thing, but it also could be a bad thing. There's going to be extremely saturated ownerships on this game, but especially on the Utah Jazz. Rudy Gobert, 9,200. Even that, as he showed in the Brooklyn Nets game, he has the ability to pay off that price point. Now he's going to be less of a priority for me here today, but absolutely Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, top plays for me. Bojan Bogdanovic will be in my pool, and then I do like Jordan Clarkson and pace up matchups like this one, so I might have a dab of him. On the Pelican side, with Drew Holiday out again, a couple of Q tags floating around, but Lonzo Ball 6,500 on FanDuel is very much so in play for me. Might be a tier 1 consideration. He has just been grinding lately. 46, 39, 41. There's a 30 in there against Chicago, and we say Chicago's not a matchup that we target. 40, 53. I don't know what Lonzo Ball has to do to be priced up, but I'll keep playing him. So give me Lonzo Ball. I will pull up the official injury report for the New Orleans Pelicans just to kind of get everyone on the same page when it comes to who's in and out. Drew Holiday listed as out with an elbow. JJ Redick. Oh, I clicked on his name instead of his injury notes. JJ Redick also released a statement last night. I saw Lou Williams quote tweeted, mentioned that some people are more worried about the clothes that they're going to arrive in so the TV cameras can get them rather than winning the game. But JJ Redick officially listed as questionable today with a left hamstring strain. Brandon Ingram, big one here, sore right knee, said he felt good after getting through shoot-around, but he'll be a game-time call against the Utah Jazz. Kenrich Williams listed as out with lower back spasms. Derek Favors said that he feels good and will play against the Jazz. It's a revenge game. He's dealing with a right hamstring strain. And then Jahlil Okafor broke the slate against the Detroit Pistons. He's listed as probable with lower back soreness. So the Pelicans come to us with a lot of players that I'm interested in. I'm very, very interested in Derek Favors on both sites. 5,400 on FanDuel, 5,900 on DraftKings. My favorite thing about Derek Favors on FanDuel is that he's a power forward. So I don't feel like I'm giving up a center spot. And right now, centers are absolutely torching the Utah Jazz for one reason or the other. If I look at the last 5 centers against the Utah Jazz, give me just a moment. Pull that up. What's his name? DeAndre Jordan had a strong game. Jad Allen didn't. Jan Mahinmi dropped 40 fantasy points in 31 minutes. Biyombo, 24 fantasy points, 17 minutes. Derek Favors dropped 30 in 29 minutes. So if he just recreates that game, I'm a buyer. So I'm definitely going to have a little bit of Favors going into that game. Brandon Ingram, if he does go, he can pay off this price point on both sides. He wouldn't be a priority for me. Maybe like a tier 2, and then Lonzo Ball on FanDuel's a tier 1 on DraftKings. I think an AK. You think about it, right? The DraftKings.
That's on FanDuel again. I think that's almost like a tier 1 lock and load. If you want to go 100% 20 lineups, crazy to sound at that price. I'm with it. But yeah, at that DraftKings price, definitely a conversation. There's definitely some other guards you can play at that price or even cheaper. You know, Russell, Mitchell, Kemba, Rubio. So and DraftKings. Lonzo Ball is a bit of a decision. I mean, he's only 300 cheap. Brandon Ingram's 8,400. He's 500 cheaper than Brandon Ingram. I'd probably find the extra 500 on DraftKings to play Brandon Ingram over Lonzo Ball personally. But yeah, on FanDuel, you lock him in. Now, Mitchell, this is the issue, obviously. It's going to be a great play. He's underpriced on FanDuel. DraftKings, relatively cheap too. I'm just saying, since Jordan Clarkson came to this team, when Mitchell is playing on that second unit, his usage is not the same. Because Jordan Clarkson, the guy, is going to chuck shots, going to take upwards 15 to 20 shots in that second unit, and Donovan Mitchell just doesn't do the same. So some of those down games is because of that. So there is some downside here. I get it. It's the Pelicans. Pace-up match. I'm just saying, there's a world where he could finish with 36, 38 fantasy points at 7-4 on DraftKings and FanDuel, whatever it is, where he won't be the smash play. I'm going to have him. I'm just saying. With Jordan Clarkson there, Mitchell's, when he plays with that second unit, his usage is not the same.
Let's quantify that because I feel like you're talking about
that. Yep. I'm telling you.
Let's pull up Clarkson. I mean, I obviously Clarkson is a shot chucker, but we'll see. Yeah. Donovan Mitchell, put them both on the court. You're coming out with some weird stuff today. Like every day, I feel like you wake up like, how crazy can I get today?
Dang.
So with them on the court at the same time together, Donovan Mitchell has a 27.4% usage rate, a 1.1 fantasy point per minute on FanDuel, 1.2 on DraftKings. Meanwhile, Clarkson is 0.8 fantasy point per minute. There's 126-minute sample size, so whatever you just said is wrong. Moving on. Continue.
None. All right, and Rudy Gobert, again at that FanDuel price, he's 200 cheaper than Jokic. I'm going Jokic all day, every day over Rudy Gobert. So on FanDuel, I might have. It's just so hard to get to Rudy Gobert. Maybe 10% if I really, but if I had zero, just go all in on Jokic. Don't mind that. On DraftKings, I think he's definitely a play. 9-2, similar price tag, but again, I think definitely better DraftKings play than FanDuel.
Yeah. I obviously no one on the bench here is going to pique my interest. I do think Clarkson on FanDuel is somebody I could take a stab at, just because I do like him in these pace-up spots. 4,300. Can I get to 30 in a great game? He did it against Washington, another bad defense, fast-paced matchup. And last time out against New Orleans, 20 fantasy points, 24 minutes. So I have a couple tournament shares of Clarkson, just on FanDuel though. Probably not on DraftKings. Chat, you got anything special on this one before I matriculate on to the next one? Favors did a decent job stopping Gobert last time. I think Gobert's price is a spot where I'm not overly
Close to Jokic with no Murray, no Millsap, and no thing. It's just so hard. Like how do you justify playing?
Jokic on the road.
Yeah, but it's Golden State. You know what I mean?
Potential blowout. I don't know. I could justify it real easily, but I get what you're saying though. Like I don't think Gobert is the obvious play at 9,200. I think he's fine, but I don't think he's like the dog. You gotta click and play. Playing Gobert on FanDuel definitely. I like that. Ty. Anything else I missed in chat? No. Okay. I think that guy rage quit. Thumbs down. We have one thumbs down. I'm pretty sure it's that guy. Orlando Center is going to put up 65 tonight. What up, Anthony White? Like your name. Projects next game on the docket. Bucks hosting the Celtics. Projects starting five from the Celtics. Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum, Daniel Tice taking on Eric Bledsoe, Wesley Matthews, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Brook Lopez. We got a 225.5 total. A 10-point spread in favor of the home team, Milwaukee Bucks. The Boston Celtics want to show people that they are an Eastern Conference championship contender, a threat. This is a statement game. We've kind of seen this play out a few times. Everyone kind of looks at Milwaukee, Philly, and Boston as the three teams to beat. But here we go. Celtics are double-digit underdogs. Jaylen Brown listed as questionable. Brown had himself a pretty big night. Anoche being the top Celtics fantasy point scorer. So if he's unable to go today, that would be a big loss, because in a pace-up spot like the Bucks offer, Jaylen Brown has been one of the better options. Now, if he's unable to go, that would be a huge spike for Kemba Walker, and maybe he can day late to glory. But Jaylen Brown's dealing with a sprained left thumb. He sprained his thumb yesterday. So there's a decent chance that he needs to skip tonight's game, but we won't have another update till prior to tip-off. If he's unable to go, you should expect Marcus Smart to draw the start at the 2. And then, of course, was it Tatum was out yesterday, right? And if Tatum...
yeah. Tatum's good to go. No, he got cleared. He's good to go today.
All right, so that's one step forward, one step backward. Jason Tatum in, Jaylen Brown out. I feel like this is maybe a series that maybe we look for a little bit of history. Have they played yet?
Played before, yeah.
All right. So, I mean, I think question number one when the Bucks are on the slate is, will this game stay competitive? A 10-point spread. 10-point spread leaves the room, the opportunity open for a blowout. Celtics are on a back-to-back, a little bit of travel here. If they have Jaylen Brown and if they have Jason Tatum, I mean, this is their full-strength squad, no excuses. Do they keep this game competitive, and do we get 35, 36 minutes of Giannis Antetokounmpo? What's your gut telling you?
I mean, I think they keep it close. I think Boston, after last night, battling for respect here. So I hope Jaylen Brown sits, so that I can just load up on Kemba Walker Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum, especially at those FanDuel prices. Kemba Walker's 67. Gordon Hayward's 5,800 on FanDuel. I mean, you're telling me if Jaylen Brown sits, pace-up matchup, big game. Again, do you just not lock him in on FanDuel at that price tag, 5,800?
So here's where I'm at. I think the game's close, or I think the game has a better chance of being competitive if Brown is in. Because Brown, I think, is their best fast-paced scorer. Like, he thrives. He can thrive in that.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
If he's out, I don't. Marcus Smart last night, he got ejected, I believe, tangled up with Derrick Rose, and I'm sure he'll just get into. I don't know. He'll try.
Yeah,
and
last game they played.
Uh-huh.
Last game they played, Jaylen Brown missed too, and it was quite the game, competitive game. Expect the same thing again.
All right, so if it is competitive, like it was last time we got 34.4 minutes of Giannis Antetokounmpo. He only dropped 53 fantasy points, but more often than not, if you tell me there's a shot that Giannis can give me 34, 35 minutes of work, I'm probably going to have a hankering for him. And on FanDuel, the access to Giannis Antetokounmpo 11.5 is a lot easier because of the aforementioned suppressed prices on the Utah Jazz, on a Ricky Rubio, guys, Lonzo Ball, guys like that. So I don't think it's that hard to go get Giannis Antetokounmpo, and assuming that the game stays close. Now, with or without Jaylen Brown, I think Kemba Walker's curious on both sites last night. It let a lot of people down, but that's not necessarily his fault, right? It wasn't like he was low in use. He took 19 shot attempts, and his teammates, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, they were doing just fine. So I think it could be a bounce back spot for Walker. Walker took 11 3-point shot attempts yesterday. We know that one of the ways to score against the Milwaukee Bucks has been chucking the long ball. So this could be a spot for him. Last time against the Bucks, he dropped 49 fantasy points, had to play 38 minutes in that one. So I'm all about the idea of Kemba Walker today. I think on FanDuel at 6,700, just like he was yesterday, like that's hard to just walk away from and say, nah, I'm good. No, that's a really, really cheap price with literally 9x ROI potential on his price point. So there's that. Enes Kanter, I still wish, I get why he's this price. I still wish he was like 45, 48, because I like him in fast-paced matchups too, man. This dude could double-double in 22 minutes. In a matchup like this, so I would love to be able to play him. What are your thoughts on Jason Tatum at almost 8K? I feel like he's gonna fall through every crack there is because of him being at 8K. I mean, this is Julius Randle, right? You just go get Julius.
If Jaylen Brown sits, I'm probably going very strong. 30%, maybe 40% Jason Tatum. Love him in this matchup. Again, pace-up matchup. The guy can fill up the stat sheet. Give me all the Tatum. Again, if Jaylen Brown misses, I just think it'll be the usage is really concentrated. So I just love kind of stacking these guys up, and it's really easy at their prices. With Kemba and Gordon Hayward being so cheap, you can throw in Tatum even at his price tag. So give me all the Tatum here.
I feel like I
like it.
I'm more on Julius Randle.
Yeah, that's fair. If Marcus Morris plays still.
Yeah, it's the Phoenix Suns.
It is, but Marcus Morris does make a big difference with Julius Randle's.
And I mean, Randle's had big games with or without.
No,
I
yes, yeah.
think that's... Anyway, I'm gonna run a usage check here, taking off Jaylen Brown, putting on Jason Tatum, Kemba Walker, Gordon Hayward. The usage checks out as Tatum at 27.3%, averaging just over a fantasy point per minute. And so is Kemba, and so is Gordon Hayward. So it's a pretty spread out, stackable 3-live crew if you guys wanted to take some shots on that if Brown's going to be out. I do think it's a kind of a big game, but I also don't think Brad Stevens is going to force the issue. And 10-point spread, man, they might get a little dead-legged here. What is...
I mean, after they got embarrassed by Detroit last night, I think Boston comes out here, plays tough.
I guess. Sure. That's a weird... After they got embarrassed by the inferior Pistons.
They're a better team than they showed last night. Yeah.
So,
I expect the Kemba rebound for sure, especially if we were on him yesterday. Go right back to him.
I get all that, but it's hard. Like as a analytical perspective of that, for them to struggle against the Pistons and then on night 2 of a back-to-back, travel to Milwaukee and have to face probably the best team in basketball. I don't know. I don't expect that doesn't sound like a logistical okay, we're good now. We got beat last night, but now we're good again.
I hear you.
All right, any supplementary plays? If you're assuming this game stays close, would you be interested in Chris Middleton, Bledsoe, guys like that?
Middleton at 7-3. Like even if he goes for 40, like it's great. But if I missed it and another guy have another guy 7-3, that is the same. It's fine. So I'm not running to play him. Bledsoe at his price, 6,300. A little more wiggle room there if you get you a 36-40. Maybe a sprinkle of Bledsoe, but definitely a ton of Giannis. I do like the Boston big three if Jaylen Brown sits and bringing him back with Giannis. It seems like a nice core build.
I'm kind of curious to see how Giannis is done against the Celtics. Brad Stevens seems like he schemes against these guys. DKP by game log versus Celtics last 10 games. I guarantee you there's no one else in this industry that types Giannis Antetokounmpo as fast as I do. No one does it. There's literally no one does it. 53, 40, like, that's your one thing in life. What are you best at on this planet? I type Giannis Antetokounmpo faster than anybody else. 53, 48, 70.5, 69, 52 in his last 5 games against the Boston Celtics. The 70 came... I think that was in the playoffs last year. Yeah, that was the playoff series. So 3 of those last 4 games are in the playoffs last year. And then the game from October 30th this season, 53 fantasy points, 35 minutes. So wide range of outcomes there. I'm thinking I'm willing to stay back. Even though I know 35 minutes of Giannis means a lot.
There's Kawhi Leonard with no Paul George. And I'm personally I think Jokic is the highest scorer of the night tonight. So, I could see you, not having a ton, but I'll have some, especially if I'm playing all those Boston guys.
Oh, I didn't put the bench on these next 2 games. That sucks. Denver Nuggets at the Golden State Warriors. Next game on the docket. You project starting 5 for the Nuggets. Monte Morris, Torrey Craig, Will Barton, Jeremy Grant, Nikola Jokic taking on D'Angelo Russell, Damian Lee, Glenn Robinson III, Draymond Green, and Amari Spellman. Let me dress out this bench if I can. We got a 212 total here, a 4-point spread in favor of the visiting Denver Nuggets. That spread is kind of low for I guess they're just like, all right, well, the Nuggets are without everyone. So let me put out a bench here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 9 people potentially getting double-digit minutes here for the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, Nikola Jokic is going to draw a ton of interest. I'm kind of on the fence here, man. Like the argument creates itself, but
FanDuel, I just with center only, I just love it. No util spot. On DraftKings, probably have a little less than, but on FanDuel, probably all in.
9,600.
Against Golden State Warriors, no Jamal Murray, guaranteed triple-double. Guaranteed triple-double.
All right, but triple-double doesn't guarantee value.
Facts.
Especially on FanDuel. If you're not used to FanDuel, you ain't getting all those bonuses on FanDuel. And you're getting docked for turnovers. So I like Jokic, and I can't see a scenario where I don't have exposure to Jokic, but I'm not in love because I've always been hesitant to trust him on the road. He's averaging 7 less fantasy points on the road this season. And then, like last night, like the Charlotte Hornets, they don't get no better than that.
No, and Murray went down. I would have think that he would have had a huge game. It didn't happen, but again, just right back to it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have Jokic, but I'm gonna struggle to be happy with my exposure. I'm curious to see. Let me see what I'm looking at him. They got him at 16%. I don't think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be more than 16%, right? Is that what you think? I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like Will Barton's the obvious play here.
Yeah, Will Barton. I was surprised yesterday though. He didn't have a bigger game. You would think. with those guys going down.
Hornets played
I thought
really
we-
small. It was a blowout. A lot of question marks. PJ Dozier was coming in, going off. It was a weird time to be alive last night. I'll tell you what. What are you doing with the Warriors?
Well, give me all the D'Angelo Russell here. I just think, again, you want to start lineups with Will Barton, Jokic, bring it back with Russell. I mean, I think this game could shoot out here. And Russell, after he let the world down last game, right back to him. I think Denver's defense takes a step down with missing Gary Harris, Murray, and Millsap.
Yeah.
I love D'Angelo Russell here.
I'll at least say without Harris and Jamal Murray, I think those are big guard defenders for them. So it is a good spot for D-Russ. D-Russ, another guy that has burned me lately. Will Bart, I don't know. Let's come run a usage check here because I think this is a weird situation. Okay. Let me go take off Gary Harris and Jamal Murray. And I guess I'll put on Barton and Jokic, right?
Jokic, Monte Morris, I guess.
Nah, we're not gonna have a sample size on Morris, but we'll put on Jokic. We'll put on Barton because I feel like Barton's like the most obvious 50 fantasy points on the board.
Right? Yeah.
Right now.
I mean, on FanDuel, love him at his price there. 6,400.
Yeah. All right, running that as is here. I got I forgot about Millsap. Millsap actually led the team in usage in that little run there. My cat is literally standing on his hind legs, like tapping me on my hip because he wants food. He's just like, hey.
Oh, and by the way, Michael Porter Jr. will outscore Mikal Bridges today.
Sure, they'll both be chalk. Cool. Jokic, 27 minutes of sample size, has a 32% usage rate. Will Barton, 30. So it's not even worth looking at this because there's no sample size here.
Just thinking, you would think both those guys have above 25% usages, I would think, in this spot.
Man, dude, I just...
Against Golden State, they're a bad team, but guys like Russell will keep it close. Again, this could be a track meet.
Last 10 games for Jokic without Jamal Murray. 30, 50, 63, 64. The 63 and 64 happened last February against the Rockets, last January at the Pelicans, last 2 games at Minnesota. None of this is from this season. So, I don't know, man. I'm on the fence here, but I'm going to have some. I think it's just for me, it's what's that magical number that I feel the best about. And I guess that's going to come down to what do I see Jokic projected ownership, maybe 40 minutes before lock. If I see him projected at 25%, I probably just match the field. That way I have the same lineups as everyone else. I guess the other caveat to consider here is we haven't really, from more of a FanDuel perspective, haven't really locked in a center yet. And center...
And Jokic. Like, I think Vooch against the Clippers, they've been giving up the bigs. I get Rudy Gobert at 9-2, tough click. Aiden, I'm locking in on FanDuel, Jokic.
Yeah, every single center, like especially the top, Jesus, that goes from 9-4, 9-2, 8-7, 7-4, 6. Like there is it's a steep fall, but like these are all guys that are usually other than Jokic. These are all guys that are usually like tier 3s. Like I play all these guys, but I never lock them.
Vooch is definitely interesting against the Clippers. We've seen centers big games.
Yeah, chat. Let me know what you're doing, Jokic. I feel like it's the obvious spot. Anyway, talked about Michael Porter Jr. 3,600 on DraftKings, 3,600 on FanDuel. Seems like a very strong range of outcomes, or seems likely that he should get minutes today. But stop me if you've heard this one before. Michael Porter Jr. has big game. Field chases that big game in very next game in better matchup, and Michael Porter Jr. gets 12 minutes. Like Mike Malone, man, what are we doing here?
Again, the matchup, I think, prime spot for him. I'm rolling with it. 3,600, cheap price tag. Take shots with him.
I mean, I'm with you. Like the reasoning is sound, but Mike Malone has been on his own thing here. Michael Porter Jr. 26 minutes against the Sacramento Kings, 28.5 fantasy points. The very next game, 11 minutes. against the Wizards. After 23 minutes against the Pacers, he dropped 33 fantasy points, 25 real points. After that game, a quote came out from Mike Malone, said, going forward, the plan is for Michael Porter Jr. to be our sixth man and get 25 minutes a game. Oh, yeah? Well, you guys play the Washington Wizards. I'm going to lock that. 12 minutes. What? 3 minutes against the Cavaliers. What is happening? So, forgive me for being a little bit trepidatious, if you will, on Michael Porter Jr. because, and it's not a Michael Porter Jr. thing, it's a Mike Malone thing. What is he doing with the minutes here for Porter Jr.? Because obviously, you tell me Porter Jr. without Gary Harris, without Jamal Murray, and against a porous defense like the Golden State Warriors, if you tell me he has a shot at 25 minutes, yeah, I have 100%. That's a lock of the century. But he also has a shot at 12 minutes, apparently, and that scares me. Monte Morris, 4K on FanDuel, 4,400 on DraftKings. That price on DraftKings, I still think there's some thinking to be done there. Morris did play the entire second half, not the entire second half, did start the second half, and then PJ Dozier came in to spell some of those point guard minutes. But 24 minutes against the Hornets, just 13 fantasy points.
I love with him. Yeah.
Yeah, at this price, like if he was 34, yeah, obviously I'm in.
Yeah.
Even at 4K on FanDuel, I'm thinking about it a little bit more. I'm gonna have Monte Morris, obviously as well. It's just a matter of finding that special number for me because I do like, I like this game. I like guards against the Warriors. But yeah, I don't think DraftKings price has him as a must play feature guy, and I think even on FanDuel, like we got so many 6K, like Lonzo Ball, we got Kemba Walker, we got Ricky Rubio. Like, is he even is he even in the conversation on FanDuel? Look at all this worth here. Even Fultz last night.
I don't even think you need that type of value of FanDuel. You can just play like one of Bridges or Porter, and with the other prices, like with Lonzo, with Kemba, guys being underpriced. I don't think you need 2-3 of these kind of 4K guys in a lineup.
Yeah. Other guys to consider here from the Nuggets here. I do like Jeremy Grant on both sides, but most particularly on FanDuel, he's 4K. Can get me 28 fantasy points. We'll write home and say we're happy. Jokic, man. Would you?
I'm all in. I'm all in on FanDuel for sure.
I don't think I'd be all in. I think I would. Like, if you're willing to have 100% Jokic, would you go 80% Jokic and 20% Mason Plumlee? Like, I don't know why Jokic is just not screaming like, hey, you got. But
at his price tag, like, I'm not gonna play Gobert over him. I mean, I could see.
But why not? Like, what has Rudy Gobert done? Is Rudy Gobert not the stronger argument right now for consistency, especially on the road?
Rudy Gobert, you can make a case maybe have the higher floor. Jokic's ceiling is just nuts in the spot.
Rudy Gobert's got you 47 or more fantasy points in 4 straight.
I mean, his floor is definitely higher in this right now. But Jokic, you don't need to be told his upside. With no Murray, no Millsap, no Gary against the Golden State Warriors.
I'm just saying, how many times do we talk about his home road splits, and all of a sudden that just doesn't matter?
Warriors. It's the Warriors.
If he was 8K, I'm in. 9K. 9K.
I hear you.
I'm like, if I fade him and he gets 50, I'm chill. Like, a 50 is fantastic, but I'm saying, like, it's 50. I don't know. Chad, I may be on the overthinking train here, but I don't have the warm and fuzzies. I will have Jokic, but I'm not locking him in like somebody here. Let's go check out the live chat, see what you guys got. TY says Barton on all sites looked great. I'm loving some Will Barton. And if Will Barton takes over a game, Jokic doesn't have to. Three says I'm done with Jokic. He's soft. Okay, I don't know about that. I'm not about the Jokic slander. I'm just saying from a standpoint tonight. I'm not 100% sold. All right, I'm gonna have him. I'm a scumbag. I'm gonna have him. And if I were to run a single entry, I'm saying I don't know if I would have Jokic in it. I'm just saying. I don't know if I would have Jokic in a single entry contest tonight. Josh Senick says, how many minutes do you think Porter Jr. plays? His minutes have been all over the place. Yeah, that's a Mike Malone question. It seems like
I'm giving 22.
It seems like there's less competition now without Harris and Jamal Murray. You know, guys like Morris and Torrey Craig have to step up, and you would assume that Michael Porter Jr. has earned some more minutes after last night, and then you could be like, oh, well, they're on the road, and Mike Malone wanted to protect his rookie on a back-to-back. Like, it's so annoying, but if you knew right now that he's getting 22 minutes, do you still allow?
My expectation, like in tournaments, I mean, I think him, Barton, and Jokic all have 25 real-life points.
Anthony White says he'll probably be later All-Star break. For the Michael Porter. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, Mike Malone said that as if it was happening now. And he said that before the Wizards game. And then ever since then, it was like, last night was the first time he got run, right? Jokic is soft is why you're hesitant. No, I love Jokic. I love Jokic. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, I don't know if I'm buying that this is the must-play spot, at, like, for sure.
You hearing this Altuve buzzer on the jersey?
Yeah, I knew about that 2 months ago. Like, I don't know why this is a story now. Like,
I did not know that. Yeah, it's just trending on Twitter. I'm like, damn, and they're showing like the video evidence. I'm like, whoa, this is serious.
That was part of the whole thing. Like, I knew about that 2 months ago, and it's just now coming out because a fake account that people think is Carlos Beltran's daughter. They're like, come on, people. people don't react to something.
It's next level though. I mean, that's a buzzer on the jersey.
People don't react to something until they see video evidence.
That's true. It makes it just opens it up a little. Like wow.
If John Boy never put out those videos of the trash can banging, like, this is whatever. Remember when Ray Rice beat that girl? Like,
yep, that video changed everything.
Yeah, he was fine until the video came out. Like, this, these scumbags been doing. Anyway, Jokic DKP by game log on night 2 of back-to-back, the last 10 games. So how's Jokic doing on back-to-backs? All right, 51, 33, 59. Jokic hasn't gotten you over 60, but he's at least getting you 50 pluses. So 50 plus, if you're happy with 50 plus, I would be tonight. It's there. All right, man. Jokic is actually crushing it on back-to-backs. It's 46, 46, 33. Everything else is over 50 in this last 10. I guess. Warriors, other than D'Angelo Russell, what are we doing here? I know they got Marquise Chris on a 2-way deal, so he might be back in the mix. I feel like it's more than D-Russ, right? One more guy, D-Russ and don't know.
Just D-Russ for me.
Just D-Russ.
I mean, Draymond is interesting. I could definitely see him. Maybe a baby triple-double, 10-10-10. But, again, long shot tournament spot. Should be low-owned.
Yeah. Jordan Poole was a good play last game. 3,900 on FanDuel, 3,500 on DraftKings. Maybe he's somebody to look at for minutes. I got him down for 24 minutes. 24 minutes could be interesting. And then Alec Burks is getting cheap. 4,900 on DraftKings. We know that he has the potential to give us 30 fantasy points. I don't know how much I need value today. I think, especially speaking from a FanDuel perspective, like, so much of my mid tier is spoken for just because there's unexcusable prices. Inexcusable.
Sure.
Inexplicable.
DraftKings I get. DraftKings you can definitely, want maybe 2-3 of those value guys in the lineup. But FanDuel just seems like playing those mid tier guys with one value guy seems solid.
Yeah. Next game on the docket is our main event. So before we do that, take a pause for the cause. Hey guys, there's a late slate, late lock tonight. So if you guys want to chill out a little bit more, a little bit longer, I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord in about 25 minutes. You guys can hang out with me. I have created an extra tab in my spreadsheet now. So I have a DK worksheet where I'll list my player pool for DraftKings specifically, and the same for FanDuel. Up until now, I'd actually been putting both of them together, but we've been noticing a lot of stark pricing differences between the sites. So a guy that I end up having more of, like last night, I had 40% sub bonus on FanDuel, but not as much on DraftKings, just because of how pricing shook out. Wasn't value last night on DraftKings, but on FanDuel there was. So if you guys have been site specific and maybe that was something that was a little blurry for you, we have added that. So if you guys want to kind of see where I'm at on either site, get some ideas or give some ideas, we'd love to have you in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. By the way, did you guys know that there's going to be a Royal Rumble DFS free roll this next weekend for the WWE Royal Rumble? If you guys want to see me do a WWE Royal Rumble breakdown, I will do it. I will literally do it. I'll go.
Like, how does that breakdown go? Be like, what does the WWE? Who does WWE want to win? You know what I mean? Like,
Sure, yeah. Why not?
all these are predetermined, right, based on who the WWE wants to push
Well,
as their next big star.
I'm not going to explain to you how the Royal Rumble works, but it's not what you think. It's not like you're betting on 8 matches. So basically,
it's just 20 guys in the ring getting eliminated one by one. 30 guys in the ring. Yeah, and isn't the winner just usually like the guy who WWE wants to push next?
It's not about like picking the winner necessarily. It's about picking a guy who eliminates a bunch of guys, picking a guy who comes out first, picking a guy that comes out late. Like, it's all that stuff. And anyway, I don't want to derail this pod anymore, but I might put a video up for it. I wish they had the ability to make smaller conglomerate contests with their scoring. I tweeted at them. They gave me the old okie doke bullcrap reply. But I think it's fun to play. I will also be hosting my own squares like I do every year, Royal Rumble squares. So if you guys want some of that, hit me up on Twitter. I'll have that stuff available next weekend. Anyway, I didn't mean to get derailed, but while I was pulling up the Discord to kind of mention that you guys can be part of it, I had the link to the Royal Rumble there. They're doing a free roll, by the way. If you didn't know, if you watch wrestling, you didn't know. They're doing a Royal Rumble free roll. I'll put the link.
The biggest star now. Is it still John Cena's world, or is he retiring?
Oh, I'm not about to have this conversation with you. Let's move on to the main event tonight. Orlando Magic at the Los Angeles Clippers. Your project starting 5 for the Magic: Markelle Fultz, Evan Fournier, Aaron Gordon, Kem Birch, Nikola Vucevic taking on Patrick Beverley, Landry Shamet, Kawhi Leonard, Mo. How could you be so heartless? Ivica Zubac, who got a 215.5 total, an 11.5 point spread in favor of the home team Los Angeles Clippers. The Magic played last night in the Staples Center. Tonight on the back-to-back, they have to travel all the way out to the Staples Center. And the big question here is Evan Fournier, who missed last night, will he be able to go tonight? And this may not be a definitive yes or no until later on tonight. Fournier is listed as questionable with a quad injury. So quad is something that you want to be really, really careful with. DJ Augustine has a MRI scheduled for Wednesday. I'm guessing that was yesterday. So he may be closer out than in. Of course, MCW has been missing a bunch of games. He's officially out for this one. So if this Magic team is the same team that we saw last night, extra
double Fultz.
5,500 for Markelle Fultz, man.
It made sense, the late pivot with the Fournier news. Like, it definitely made sense in that way.
Like I said, I've been faithfully playing Markelle Fultz for a while. All season. Like, he's been giving me 25 30s. And then when DJ Augustine and MCW were out, I've still been playing him. I didn't know he had that in him, what he did last night. Like, just from
he played like 33 minutes, not like 39, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't have huge minutes.
From a real-life basketball standpoint, like, I didn't know he could do that. I didn't know he could do that.
I guess it was a first pick for a reason, right? They clearly, there's some upside in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Kawhi Leonard has been really, really trendy on FanDuel lately because he's listed as a power forward. And he's been rewarding players who roster him. He is 10.1K today on a day where it seems like most of the value on FanDuel is like in your guard area. I could see Kawhi Leonard get another high ownership. He's given you 60, 48, 61 his last 3 games, of course, without Paul George. So it's another strong usage opportunity for him. The pace is down, but as you saw last night, doesn't necessarily mean that we can't have fantasy viability from anyone in the game. We saw JaVale McGee have a strong game, Dwight Howard have a strong game. Even LeBron wasn't like a crippler. So I do think Kawhi Leonard is going to be trendy on FanDuel. I'm curious to see where he ends up with on DraftKings. And then Patrick Beverley was on the last slate one of the highest owned players on FanDuel. I don't think that's going to happen tonight because of guys like Lonzo and Rubio, guys like that. But if you look at his game log at 5,300, if you're looking for that 5x 25 plus and then a shot at some more, maybe he gets above 0% ownership tonight. And the fact that he's been, kind of rewarding people, I'm a little bit intrigued with that. And maybe, he likes to pick on these young guns when they feel like they're unstoppable. So maybe Beverly gets behind Fultz a little bit. So you didn't think the Magic would get blown out last night. With that said, last night was an exhausting victory. You believe in exhausting wins?
Against the Clippers. I can see it definitely seems like it could be a letdown spot for the Magic for sure.
Third game in 4 nights. It's a back-to-back. They didn't have to travel, but it is an exhausting victory. They could be short-staffed. They could catch up with them. What are you doing with this game, first of all? And are you game scripting it as a neutral game script? I mean, if you'd have told me between just in and of themselves, the Clippers and the Lakers, if you'd have told me the Magic kept it close with the Clippers, I'd be less shocked than them keeping it close with the Lakers, considering the circumstance.
Paul George.
I believe last night was the first time the Lakers lost to a team below 500, by the way.
Anthony Davis.
Sure, but I mean they know AD and no LeBron. They smoked the freaking Thunder. So.
I think Rondo. I think Rondo plays a big role in that when AD's out too.
Yeah, Rondo was out last night. Caruso went down, so maybe. What do you do with this game? You gonna grab?
I definitely want the Fournier news. If he plays, I'm more inclined to think maybe they can keep it close for a little bit. Again, the Clippers without Paul George. No, I mean, they blew out the Cavs. Were they blowing out teams before that, after? I mean, Memphis, they blow them out. They got crushed by Memphis. Yeah, I mean, they're not blowing out teams, really. Cavs are the Cavs. I could see Orlando kind of grinding it out, slow-paced team, especially if Fournier plays, coming off of a big win. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see him showing up again. So I like play Kawhi Leonard, 10K. I mean, it just seems like, Paul George is out. You play Kawhi Leonard, right? Simple concept. Even at 10-1, give me that. So give me some Kawhi Leonard here. I don't think I'm really going to play anybody else on the Clippers. Lou Will, he's 6'9" on DraftKings. Against Orlando, not the best matchup. Not running to play him, but I mean, if you fall into him, that's fine. Orlando side, I think Vooch is going to be a great tournament play. I don't think a lot of people are going to play him. He's 8'5". We've seen centers do well against the Clippers. Coming off a down game yesterday against the Lakers. Hey, that game stayed close with Vooch having a bad game. It's even more shocking. But, I mean, if he gets you a 45, 50 or at 8'5", I'll take that. So give me some Vooch. Give me some Fultz again if Fournier misses. Ride the hot streak. And, yeah, I think that's about it.
So Montrezl Harrell, man. When I look at this center pool on FanDuel, he's kind of the cheapest, all things considered. Can I get 25 to 30 minutes out of Montrezl Harrell to give me a 40 plus fantasy point game?
I'd rather play Derek Favors.
Well, Derek Favors is a power forward on FanDuel.
Okay, gotcha.
Welcome to FanDuel, by the way. Montrezl Harrell, when you look at all the centers, and again, I completely understand the argument for Jokic and guys like that, but Harrell seems like the best risk-reward balance. And I'm assuming that the lack of minutes against the Cavs was more responsive or more inducive to the fact that it was a 24-point game and a blowout versus anything else. So maybe this game stays a little bit closer and Harrell can deliver. Can I get to 40 for a tournament? Something he's done twice in his last 4 games. 3 times in his last 5. I don't know. I'm kind of digging the idea of Montrezl Harrell as a contrarian center on FanDuel tonight. Just because the awkward fit that Jokic is for me at 9-4. 9-4, getting to 50 on FanDuel is a little bit harder than it is on DraftKings. DraftKings, you're going to get less penalty for turnovers. You're going to get the double-double, the triple-double bonuses, stuff like that. Yeah, you get more for blocks and steals, which is part of Jokic's game, but it's not a big part. So I don't know. I think I might be using a lot of Montrezl Harrell for FanDuel tonight. So just thinking out loud there. Lou Will still too cheap. Lou Will's a shooting guard on FanDuel. Looking for 35 plus fantasy points in 19 minutes against Cleveland in a blowout. Yeah, he's gotten you 20 plus real points in like 6 games straight. So that's a great, incredible floor to get us to that 36-point threshold. And the only time he didn't get it was, again, a blowout against the Cleveland Cavaliers, where instead of 30 minutes, he got 19 minutes. So I think if you believe that this game could stay a little bit more neutral, I think Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell's an excellent 1-2 punch. They run the pick and roll really well together, and I like them. So I'll probably I can't see myself having less than 25% of either, just because I get the late night hammer aspect out of it too. Anyway, chat, what do you guys got here before we get on out of here? Romy says Vucevic is my favorite center tonight. Romy says Jokic is too passive shooting the ball this season. I like Gobert, but he's probably super high for someone who doesn't shoot much. I can see that. Conscious Machines. So the guy that thinks he's a cop says retarded on air. Way to go, officer. Yo, my man.
He's coming at you.
He's coming at me, but he's like listening on a 90-minute delay. Wow. Hey, guys, breaking news. Cops curse. Can you believe that? I'm not a cop.
Stand with Odell. I'm with Odell.
I'm not a cop, by the way, but what an incredibly delayed comment there for Conscious Machine. And in 2 hours, he's going to be furious when he hears this part, you know? When he gets to this part, he's going to be like, oh, he was talking to me an hour later. Well, technology, it's a crazy thing. Detroit Wills, with the Phoenix game, I love Bridges, but also maybe a little Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson. We didn't talk about him. Chat, both chats, YouTube, Twitch, throw out any questions, any guys that we kind of just like brushed over that you want a second opinion on or something like that, or guys that we weren't on that you want to put us on. Let us know where we get out of here. 25 minutes against Atlanta for Cam Johnson, 25.7 FanDuel points. I could see that. Now, Atlanta is like the best possible like matchup, right? So do I expect Atlanta point per minute results versus everyone, even though the Knicks aren't great? Like, they're 18 minutes against the Knicks last time, you got a 7. So I like the thought of them, right? Like I definitely want to explore all the nooks and crannies to win 100K, but be cognitive that we're not just going to replicate Atlanta production from everyone, right? Fultz will eat. I like Fultz. Does Bobby Portis go ham tonight? I wasn't really on him. With Mitchell Robinson probable, Julius Randle in the mix, Taj Gibson's been a thing. I probably can't really justify Bobby Portis at a high extent, but like, I mean, I'm not the type to say anyone's to play in tournaments, but like I guess you could say he has 30+ point fantasy point potential against the Suns if he were to get 25 minutes, so potentially. But I do think like this isn't a spot where Mitchell Robinson's out or Julius Randle's out. Like they all seem to be in, so I can't feel overly confident if I roster Portis, right? Super Dario's the play, no Oubre. What about Dario Saric? Yeah, I don't know, man. I played Dario against the Hawks. 18 minutes there, 22 minutes against Charlotte. 20, like the minutes just have not been there for him. But at min price, yeah, there could just be more minutes that you can't turn away from now that Oubre's out. So maybe Saric is a curious click there. I'll probably throw him in my pool. I'm gonna dive a little deeper. That's an interesting play. Yeah, I'm with Romy. I'm scared to play him, but I get the thought. I think the thought on him is elite. That's a great thought process to kind of consider him. Bridges be awful though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm fine with Bridges just because of the minutes that I kind of put on him here. Reminds me when like Dwayne Bacon starts. If he's gonna get 35 minutes, man, it's the Knicks. He got 12 and 20 minutes last time against the Knicks. Does this 20 become 35, and does that 12 become 25? Maybe. When Oubre, no minutes, hogging Saric just to play. Maybe. We don't really have a big precedent here because Oubre could play the 4 at times, or DeAndre Ayton could play the 4 at times, and they play super big, and Dario just gets pushed aside. So there's a couple of creative lines. What I will say is against the Knicks, you kind of get forced to play bigger than most teams anyway, but just because of how big the Knicks are, they got like 80 centers. So I don't know, maybe they feel obligated to give their big man a little bit more run. Bridges versus Sarge. Nobody wants to click Sarge. Barrett, if Morris is out. RJ Barrett, now there's a name that's hard to click. Young Darius says Joker triple-double with no Murray. I think that's what a lot of people are anticipating and hoping for. I think it makes a lot of sense. Tomorrow, guys, is a 7-game Friday slate, so not a massive slate. Something that we can kind of grab a hold of. So expect the stream to be at 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live on both Twitch and YouTube, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out per usual. If you guys got more for me, twitter.com/Gundackersports, man. That's the place to link up with me. My DMs are open. Love to chat with you guys. I will be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord in about 10 minutes. We're going to chop up this slate, man. I surely appreciate you guys making part of my day be part of your day. If you're watching on Twitch, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Appreciate all you guys that have subscribed on Twitch. If you guys have Amazon Prime and you get that monthly sub token, remember, it's not reoccurring. So if you want to sub again, you got to do it manually. And it's a free sub token because of the wonderful people at Amazon. So go ahead and use it, man. Show some love for your boy. And in about 50 minutes, when that conscious guy gets to this part, I'm going to let him know that I love you, dog. I love you. Even if you're retarded. I appreciate you guys making part of my day, be part of your day. I hope you guys win all of the money tonight. Be sure to hit me up on Twitter with those screenshots, man. I'll be back tomorrow. And we'll have some fun, man. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.